Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? So, I have hired the T4-40. It's bright and early. Well, actually it's not quite so bright and early. I've been putting a bit of silage into the mix feeder down there so that the mix feeder will actually just carry on doing. I think it's got one more load to do and then it will stop. I finished the canola and I returned because what I did the first time round was I just parked the combine up so that we could use it another time. And then when it came to, I think it was when it went to renew the, what do you call it? The hire. When it went to renew the hire, it crashed again. So I've returned it. It might be that if anybody is using the same mods that I am, if you're using the hire vehicle, that might cause you an issue on this one. I don't know. But it did seem to be a coincidence. I'm not sure if it was then exactly, or if it just, you know, happened to be a bit of a coincidence. But anyway, that happened. My question that I asked you last week was... Actually, what was the question I asked you last week? I'm sure it was very important. And, oh, yes, I know what it was. I'm so sorry, I completely forgot. I had it right there. I was all prepared and everything. And I thought I was doing really well. I was really pleased with myself because I was all prepared. Do you want me to use the... it'll be that baler and the... that bale trailer and that baler there... to bale up the straw just the other side of this hedge, or did you want me to use the big baler that we've already got? And you guys all said you wanted me to use the small baler. Well, actually, I had a couple of you say you wanted the big baler, but most of you said you wanted the small baler. Now, we have got... Sorry, I'm not actually starting up yet because I've got a few things to say, but actually, we'll start up, and then we'll get to this week's question, because I've got to put that one... We're going to back up. Oh, yes, the steering... We have a slight issue, in that steering changes... with the same command that starting it uses, which is a bit of an issue. I might have to actually remap stuff. Let me keep going through it so that I can get the right one, and then we can just leave it on that one. There. Flexible mode. Right. That's the one that I want. So we will leave it on there and hope that we don't have to stop the machine. Right. So, yeah, we've got 1 week left. We got 2 weeks. We got this week and we got next week, and then that's it. Then it will be time to move on to FS17. As you may have gathered, as I have mentioned just a couple of times, I'm a little bit excited about this. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Although... Obviously, it doesn't show in any way, shape or form just how excited, ridiculously excited I am about this. I am so looking forward to it. Right, anyway, that's besides the point. Right now, we've got 2 weeks left, so I can ask you a question for next week, and then the following question will have to be something to do with FS17, because it won't be anything I'll be able to do on this map. And I did say earlier on in the series that I wanted to try and use... Can I go any further forward? It's kind of, it's twisting it a bit now. I'm not sure which way round you're supposed to put this on. I'm assuming that it is this way round, because you wouldn't be able to get past those bits there. So I think that is roughly where you got to put it. Right, so my question is, I did say to you that I would use that barrel spreader there. I've used these before, and I do quite actually enjoy using them. It's a bit of a challenge to get it nice and even, and I quite like using them. So I said I would... And we've only got 6 episodes left, 2 of which are going to be taken up with sugar beet harvesting. Do you want me to spend a little bit of time doing some manure spreading with the Marshall barrel spreader? If you would like me to, if you wouldn't like me to, head to the comment section down below and let me know what you think. It's your vote, it's your game. I will use it if you want me to. Now, let's just take that one off of there. It's kind of okay, I suppose. It's a bit rough throwing it down like that, but still. So now we've got to get this one down to the yard, through the yard and then into the field on the other side. I've got a trailer down there ready and waiting, although it's actually quite a small trailer in comparison to this thing, so we may have to seriously consider getting a bigger trailer. Now, where does it hit? Oh, it hitches on right at the back there. I thought it was in underneath on the chassis, but it's not. It's right there. Is it going to stop? Stop, 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 stop. I've got to catch it now before it turns too far. It's turned too far. Okay, let's go back again and try that again. We will drive down the road with the trailer on the back of this machine. That is my plan. I would like to do that. I think it would look very cool, because I think this machine does look very cool anyway. Now, if I stop right there, is it going to let me hitch? Get down there, quick, quick, quick. Yes, we got it. It's just slowly drifting it round the corner ever so slightly, which is making it a little bit difficult. Now, so yeah, we may have to get a bigger trailer. And I know that this one is ridiculously oversized for this map. It is absolutely unsuitable, but this is what everybody wanted. We better turn all of our beacons on. There we go. Beacons galore. But this is what you guys wanted. And next week I will use some bigger stuff. I've had a few people request that I use the CR10 New Holland combines. The biggest ones that you can buy. I've got a field up over there that we own that we could do. We could buy a couple of others. I had some people say, could I please use the Crone Beast and do a little bit of silage, so I might do that as well. It'd help if I actually went on the road. Let's do a little bit of this from in-cab, because this is a beautiful view in cab in here. So yeah, we'll sort of try and get a few of those going if we can, but I didn't want to use, other than this one, anything oversized this week. I wanted to wait until next week before I started doing that. We want to try and keep realism to... Yes, I'm saying this, I'm aware, whilst driving this absolutely monstrous machine into this yard. But I did want to try and keep realism as much as we could before next week. There's no way we're going to fit the CR10 through here, is there? I just don't... That isn't going to fit, is it? How are we going to get a CR10 round that corner? Oh well. We'll try anything once. You know, I thought this was going to be a lot more difficult to get round here. I've still got to unhitch. I think what we'll do is we'll go up into the silage area, and that's where we'll leave the trailer, so that we can unhitch there in front of that silage bay. And if I pull over here, turn round slightly like that, there. If I leave it there, and we'll pull into the silo just here, so that into the bunker, the silage bunker, that's the word I was actually looking for. There we go. And now I can back round, I'm hoping. There we go. What's the mirrors like? No mirrors at all. Oh, there's a mirror on that side. Not that it's doing a great deal. I'm a little bit stuck on that bank. Yeah, the wheels were catching just ever so slightly. It wasn't lining up perfectly. Right, come round, and I should just be able to pop this off without any trouble at all, although it's drifting again. This trailer doesn't seem to like being approached. It seems to have very peculiar personal space issues, and doesn't want anyone getting too close. Well, that's fair enough. That's that trailer's personal choice. So let's unfold this one. I said I was going to try and do that very small field first, and then we'll move to the bigger fields. So I need to squeeze in round this corner, round here, and not quite sure how I'm going to start in this field. I'm kind of the wrong way round, I think, for it. Let me change over and unfold the header, change back. Right, I think we'll just have to go this way round the field, so we'll go backwards for the first time, and then we can always see about turning round afterwards. It's going to be a bit difficult, especially down on that corner. That's the one that I'm concerned about. Now, just in case, I'm going to just save the game a minute, because I don't want this all crashing. Right, here we go. Let me just start this bad boy up. There we go. You got to admit, this machine is very, very cool. I know we used it in Melbury Estate, but still, this thing is awesome. I do genuinely love this machine. We don't have any root crop storage, as far as I can tell, anywhere on this map. So we are going to have to take this straight to the sell point and sell it. That shouldn't really be an issue. We may have to get a bigger trailer, and if we're going to get a bigger trailer, that means that we may have to rather seriously consider getting a bigger tractor in order to pull it. I know that we wanted to stick to medium-sized tractors for this map, but there must be something that we can get away with using. Actually, let's try and do this field from in the cab. I don't do enough in the cab. I I do have people telling me from time to time that I just don't do enough stuff from in cab. So I'm going to try and do this field in cab, just because we can. Now, this is going to be the dangerous bit, is whether I slip down there or not. I'm going to come back out here a little bit. I've got a sugar beet, all on his lonesome, just over there. Now, if I back up... Actually, you know what I should be doing? I should be lifting this up as I reverse, because otherwise I'm going to damage it, aren't I? There we go. And down there like that. Easy. Lift that one up again. Back up a bit. Getting in a little bit tight to this hedge. I don't know what these things are like for going round corners. Having never operated one, and never been anywhere near one that is actually operating in real life, I don't know what they're like for going round a corner. Can you steer them round the corner? If you're doing the outside round of the field, is this very strictly straight lines only? Is it going to seriously damage the front of this machine if we were to turn it while we're actually using it? Anyone who has used one of these, could you please let me know? That would be absolutely awesome, and I will share said information as soon as I am able. Obviously, I do need to record a little bit in advance, so I can't share everything immediately. I do have to be very, very careful now, because I have a steep bank right behind me, and I'm rather conscious of the fact that one false move is going to have us sliding down that bank. It's just... I'm not going back any further. That's as far back as I'm going to go, risking it. And we have a tree here that we really want to drive into. So if we come up, I'll just swing round ever so slightly. Hopefully I haven't trashed into the tree. Up, out the way. There we go. How are we doing behind us? Let's take a look. It seems to be doing okay so far. I am driving on the beets a little bit, but that's not too bad. So let's go back into cab. And I'll do a bit more of out of cab in the next episode. I'm going to do 2 episodes of sugar beet harvesting. And I do think that we are going to need to seriously consider a bigger tractor and trailer, because I don't think that we're going to be able to do it with this one. I think that one's only, what, 32,000? Might not even be that. And this one is 45,000 when he's full. I am going to turn round now, because I want to be able to offload without having to turn round at an awkward space in the field. Let's go back in cab. Now, I'm going to assume at the moment that it is okay to turn the corner with this. If it turns out that that is not the case, then we will have to see. I might have... No, I don't think I can. I'll have to just remember it for FS17, I think, because I don't think I'm going to be able to wait between uploading this episode so I can read your responses and recording the next episode. I think I'm going to have to record it before I upload this one. Anybody's actually following me, that's excellent. If you could please let me know what I'm talking about, because I'm not quite sure. Basically, before I upload this episode, I will have to record tomorrow's episode, because I don't think I'm going to have enough time. If I can leave it and record after I've uploaded this episode, I will, so then I can hopefully find out if I can turn the corner with this thing while it's in the ground. Because that's it, that's the crucial bit here. Can I turn the corner with a sugar beet harvester in the ground? I want to make sure I'm doing this right. I mean, I think I get kind of suspect that I can, because of the... You got the wheels on the front. Let's take a look. We'll look at this outside of the machine. I know that with like different potato harvesters and that, it is possible to turn the corner while you're using them while they're in the ground. Now this one is got wheels on the front that turn, which indicates to me that it might be that we can turn the corner. I know you got the wheels there that sort of dig into the ground and stuff, but I mean, you don't want to just sit still and sweep it sideways. I think that is actually going to physically damage your machine. But as you go round the corner, I would have thought that you could turn and harvest at the same time. See, we're slowly turning, but we're moving at the same time. So I wouldn't have thought that that is going to damage it. yes, it's true, it might put a little bit of pressure on the joints and so on. But I would have thought you'd be able to get away with that. I'm not sure, because different machines obviously have all got different tolerances for doing things like that. And, you know, some cultivators you can turn quite sharp corners because they're narrow. And then others, as we have had previous discussions about, you absolutely cannot turn sharp corners with them at all. It will utterly obliterate them, and you would never be able to use it again. We did talk about that, not necessarily in this series. I think we've been talking about that in Sandy Bay, haven't we? So we had quite a long cultivator there, and then I decided to change it so that I could go around the corners. I'm going to carry on just for a little while, doing a bit more of this field. We are actually successfully doing it. I know this thing is hugely oversized. I'm going to do a bit out of cab now for a minute. I will go on and do a little bit, and then get back to you when we've got nearly a full tank. We're not doing bad here. We're not even half a tank yet, so we're easily going to get this field into the tank full. And so then I can go out of this field to empty out, which will make it a little bit easier. So we can empty out, go up and tip the sugar beet, and then we'll come back down and we'll do the next little field, the one opposite this one, and then we'll finish up doing that one up over there. There's got a few stripes of wheat in it because we had that little slight mishap when we started sowing last time round. I don't know if anybody remembers, but I did the first couple of rounds. You remember with the great big Lemkin self-propelled seed drill? Yeah, I accidentally, if nobody... But for those of you who are new to the series and haven't actually seen it, I accidentally planted everything with wheat on the first 3 times around the outside, then realised what I'd done, so I had to go back and redo it. So there are a couple of little bits that may have gotten missed, so I haven't looked at it yet. We will see how much wheat actually came through in that field. It'll be quite interesting to see that one, I should think. Right, last couple of bits. We've just now reached half a tank. And let's just go back along the bottom here, seeing as we're right next to it. Yeah, not much left now. This pass and one more, and that'll be most of the field. We can just sort of shunt around to do that last tiny bit, and that will be us complete. First field done with our sugar beet harvest, which isn't bad. So we've got 23,000 in here so far, so 23.5 tons. Be pushing up to 24 tons, maybe a little bit more. It's going to push, yeah, it will reach 24 tons, but it won't be much more than that. One bit there, and back down here. Last little bit. I think actually you're supposed to go in line with the rows. Where you got your rows of sugar beet, I think this machine is actually supposed to go in line with those, as opposed to just wandering around the field wherever it fancies. Although that doesn't seem to be something that we worry about in Farming Simulator. Now, I want to change to there and power down the machine itself. And come out here. Now, if I hug tight to this hedge, I can get the tractor and trailer up alongside it to empty out. So I'll stop here. We need to put the overloader out. I don't want to press Y. I've got the finger on Y. I don't want to do that. That starts and stops it. Pipe out. Oh, same as usual. Put that one out there. Right, let's go and get this tractor. Then we can unload the sugar beet, and then we will take it up the top and sell it. I'll do one round around this field. At least make a start. I think Auto Combine actually worked fairly well with this, didn't it? If I remember correctly, Auto Combine did okay with this one. It was the sugar beet harvester in old times that it really didn't like. Now, how much of that load can we get in here? This is the big question. All of it. We've got the whole lot. I'm going to drive this up to the store so that we can sell it, and I will meet you up at the store so we can see how much we're going to get for it. Then we will come back down and start harvesting our next field. As usual, he really does struggle on this hill, and we haven't even filled the trailer up. So we're down to 3 miles an hour. our next load is probably going to be completely full. I suspect it's going to be a bit of a struggle to get up this hill. So we're going to do this episode. Today we're doing sugar beet, and tomorrow we'll do sugar beet as well. The following episode I'm going to go in that field there with the small baler, and we'll do some baling, and then we'll gather a few up, and at the end of the episode I'm hoping to tip a few of the bales into the machine down the bottom, the mixed feeder. I don't know if we could put whole bales in there though, or if we're going to have to find another way to put them in. We may have to get creative with it. And then next week is kind of open-ended, because we're going to go for our slightly less realism next week. Now, hopefully, I can sell the sugar beet. This is the big question. Are you ready? It's selling. It's tipping out. We haven't crashed the game. Everything seems fine. I probably shouldn't have risked it. I probably should have saved before I did that, but still. £10,672 for our first load of sugar beet. That's not bad. Now, unfortunately, our next load is probably going to be less than that because of the way the price has changed. Let's just take a quick look. Sugar beet is £438 a tonne at the moment. I have a feeling it's going to drop slightly for our next load, but we'll know that after it goes past 10 o'clock. So I will meet you down the bottom. Right, I'll stop the tractor right here, and I will shut it off. Now let's go back up to there. I'm leaving this one running purely because of the difficulty we have when we start it up, having to go through the modes of steering and so on. So if I back up here now, and we'll back round into that field there. I know I'm driving all over the shrubs and stuff. I apologise for that. That is a little bit unacceptable. And we'll go in cab to do our first round. We'll do one round around the outside of the field, and then that will be it. So my question for this week is, do you want me next week at some point to just have a quick go with the barrel spreader? Because we haven't actually used that barrel spreader on any of them. It is a modded one. Manure spreaders. There's Marshall Pack, I think there was from somewhere. I think it's actually from the FS15 website, or from the Farming Simulator website. I think it's from their mod hub. There's a Marshall Pack, and that is the one right there, that barrel spreader. If you'd like me to use it, if you don't want me to bother using it, that's sometime next week, head into the comment section down below, let me know your thoughts. It's your vote, it's your game. So, how much are we going to get here? I got a feeling that we're going to get more than a tankful in this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first round by myself, and then I think I will set the auto combine going and see how that gets on. We do have a few tight corners and that to deal with, which could make it a little bit interesting for the auto combine. I don't know how well it's going to cope with that, especially this one up here. This is a rather tight corner to get round up here. I ought to pick that up when I back up. So there we go. Oh, it's not picking up because I held the wrong one. There we go. I keep forgetting to change the tool selection. So you go to lift the header and it doesn't lift up because I've got the wrong tool selection on. That's entirely my fault. It's not the game. It's just me. Right. That's round the first corner. We have another couple of... Well, this one here shouldn't be as bad, but there's another tight corner just up in the next one. Just after this one. I can hopefully just bring this one on a curve and I won't have to do any shunting around. I start turning in now. Ease round there. Yep, no worries. So we've got that one on a straight curve. This one I'm going to have to manoeuvre a bit because we've got a tree in the way. Is it going to let me turn without too much difficulty? I can get most of the way round on the first pass. I am driving straight into the hedge. It's a good job these hedges don't have collision, because to be honest, the way that I'm backing up here... Yeah. Let's stay in cab and pretend we didn't see that, shall we? I am curious how I'd be able to do this if we actually had collision on the hedges. I think that it would be a... I think we'd have really struggled with that small field down there if we hadn't had collision, or if we had collision, I should say. I don't think I'd have been able to get round those corners anywhere near as easily as I did, because I think I went right over the boundaries in places. Right, now I need to be careful up against that tree. I don't want to get stuck on it. Well, we've had that. That went reasonably well, I feel. We did get round the farm okay. I did think that we were going to struggle with that, but we seemed to do it. We seemed to manage. I know that some people want me to use a CR10 next week, and I'm going to see about doing that, and I may even get because I've had some people say they'd like me to get the quad track as well, so I might put the quad track on a big trailer, get the CR10 going, and we'll move up and down, we'll do that field right there with it. I think that could prove quite entertaining, to be honest. I think that is going to be a very enjoyable experience doing all that. Right, I don't want to go too far down, and lower it back in. Right, that is everything for today. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give me a like. Excuse me, I got a bit of a frog in my throat. Yeah, and give me a like. And if you really enjoyed it, please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.